Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel, YTCSC, YouTube's Celtic Supporters Club, and as you know, my name is Mark Campbell. This is the second video today. Hope I'm not annoying people with popping up on their feeds too much. First one we done this morning was on Balikwisha, potentially playing as a striker. I don't know what you thought about that, but we are going to look into the club meetings minutes that have come out and dive into that a wee bit, break it down a wee bit for you, because there's a lot of reading in there. Before I do that, again, I'm going to let you know we are doing a free giveaway. It's a free poster that it's Billy McNeil. You can see number 5, it's got his signature on it. It's got some nice wee pictures of him lifting the European Cup, how long he was at Celtic, what he won, a lot of wee pictures of him in the lines and stuff. So that is up for grabs, and it is free to anyone who comments their name. So if you just comment your name on it, then what we'll do is give you a wee love heart and let you know that you're in the draw. We have like 5 or 6 people in it. It's pitiful, actually, so let's please get your name commented. I'm getting embarrassed that there's only 6 people commented. The poster's not that bad. It's actually a really good poster, so get your name commented. Also, we are on the charge to 1,888 subscribers. That's what we're looking to get to, so please hit the button. Doesn't cost anything, really easy to do, and then you will see your videos pop up and you can choose to watch them or ignore them. So get that done, please. Subscribe for us and help us get to that magic number. Okay, without further ado then, let's get into the video. Okay, so earlier today, or tonight actually, I sat down and read through the full minutes from Monday's Celtic supporters meeting with the club. And honestly, it makes for some interesting reading, and a frustrating one too, if I'm being completely honest. The meeting involved Michael Nicholson, Chris Mackay and other top Celtic figures, along with reps from the main supporters groups, including the Celtic Fans Collective and the Celtic Trust and the Irish and Disabled Supporters Association. So if you haven't read it yet, it's up on the Celtic Star, and it's long. It's like 12 pages long, but I've pulled out the key points, hopefully, and we can talk through them and have a wee bit of a chat. Let's get your comments flowing, because this one will be interesting. So let's talk through exactly what was said and what wasn't said also, and why lots of fans were left feeling actually totally missed an opportunity for change again. And I said this actually when the leaked minutes had come out. It's a total opportunity that we've missed. It feels like we haven't done anything and we've not gone anywhere and they've not really said anything, right? Okay, so just to begin with, the mood in the room right away, the tone was clear. The Celtic Fans Collective, they went in wanting reform. They wanted transparency and they wanted accountability. They made it clear it wasn't just another meeting, which I think the Celtic board were hoping for. Again, they're tone deaf to what happens and what is happening, so that doesn't surprise me. They wanted this to be a turning point in how fans engage with the club. But as the minutes show, they actually left really disappointed, and that is no surprise if we're all honest. So no real progress, no clear timelines, and there was definitely no accountability. And that's been the story for a while now. If you are on the pulse with this, if you are reading it and you know what's going on, supporters asking direct questions and the board giving vague or no answers at all. So you can actually feel it in the notes. The fans came prepared, which was excellent, and the club came polished with their jargon as usual. Okay, so there was a bit of a breakdown in the communication, right? And that was always probably going to happen. One of the biggest frustrations raised was communication. Was the communication that we have not been receiving, or lack of or none, to be perfectly honest. So the supporters asked the club why it hasn't responded to the 7 key questions that they put publicly weeks ago, and Paul John from Axum's been going on about this for quite a while. I enjoy his programme and watch it every day. And he's been talking about it a lot. Michael Nicholson basically said it wasn't appropriate to respond in writing. Okay. The fans rightly pushed back. Why not just speak directly to supporters in a video then? Explain the situation, maybe face to face. That's the problem. Celtic talk about being world class and everything that we do, but when it comes to engaging with the fan base, we're so far off it. We're miles off it. And that's why fans feel so low in the pecking order of Celtic, to be perfectly honest. Fans don't want corporate statements. We don't want AI generated statements. We don't want statements that don't mean anything. They want honesty. That's basically what we want. And they want their club to talk to them like adults, and let's all have a conversation and talk about where this club are going. Not just really when it comes to season ticket renewal, and that's kind of what we see. We see all of these big clubs just start to talk to their fans when they want them to put their hand in their pocket. So they also went on and talked about the transfer strategy, which is one of the biggest things for me. That was at the heart of the meeting, actually. Supporters said straight out the summer transfer window was a failure and the club was unprepared for Europe. That is an understatement, actually, when we look back at it now, right? So the fans collective said that the transfer policy feels scattergun. Nicholson said the club does have a strategy, and that's to dominate Scotland and compete in Europe. He pointed to a 20 million investment in the Barrowfield in Lennoxtown, which, look, if we're honest, that is exactly one of the things that we need, right? We need to really focus on our youth, and we are going to do at YTCSC. We're going to focus on this next year. We're going to have a real focus on the B team. We're going to actually get into the nitty gritty about what players are players out on loan, how they're doing and stuff like that. So that's something that I'm really interested in. But it's not really what supporters were asking. You know, they want to know where are the Champions League players? Yes, we're interested in our youth, and that's really important moving forward. But where are the players that are ready for the Champions League? Where were they? Where were they before Kairat? They were nowhere to be seen. So fans even said it feels like the club's whole approach is just Rangers +1. That's it. Nicholson denied that, of course. But the fact fans feel like that, it actually says a lot. Like, we're only here to beat Rangers. That's the most important thing. We've got Hearts on the horizon now and all. So Mickelson admitted that they didn't meet all the objectives in the window, right? And said that an internal review is underway. Hey, let's be honest. How many times have we heard that line, actually, that they're looking at it and they're going to review things and change things? Fans want to see progression. They want to see a pattern of progression. They just don't want promises of reviews, and that's really all we got there. So poor from Celtic and poor from Nicholson. So the accountability and the board piece. So I got to the accountability part, and this part really sums up where the disconnect is for me. Fans asked who is actually responsible for the repeated failures in recruitment. Fair enough question. We've seen it so many times. We've not qualified for 7 out of 9 of the Champions Leagues that we have had that qualifier. And Nicholson said the execs are accountable to the Celtic PLC board, but he wouldn't discuss any individuals. I don't know if that's surprising or it was expected, but he wouldn't go into detail about it. So the collective challenged the makeup of the board, saying that the directors have been there and they have been there too long, actually, and that the independence has been lost in Celtic, which it actually has. It actually has. So Mackay then came in and said they follow corporate codes. Nicholson argued that experience and stability are valuable, which, yes, you need your experience and you need a bit of stability, but you need You need some drive and energy and freshness at the same time. But for supporters, it just feels stale, right? It does. It is the word that gets used all the time, is stale. The same people, the same excuses, the same lack of forward thinking, and that comes from these guys who've been there that whole time with no new thinking, no new people. Fans want fresh eyes, right, and fresh ideas, and that is fair enough. People want to see new new ideas coming into the club to help them grow with the way that the modern football is moving. Not just the same group of old men, and I don't want to just call them old men, right? That's poor. Just patting themselves on the back. Well done, guys. We've won the league again. Um, we're still in Europe. Yeah, we're still in Europe. We're not in the Champions League, clowns. Is all I can say. So they then went on and spoke about the ticket prices and the fact that that's a big one for me actually, and I'll talk about a wee bit about that. But the supporters called out the European ticket prices, right, especially for concessions. So saying they're unacceptable during a cost of living crisis. I got tickets for European game for me and my wee boy, right, 45 quid. And then they charge 45 quid for the wee man as well. So it's 90 quid before you've actually even got to Parkhead. Then he wants a hot dog, he wants a drink. You obviously need to get something as well. Then you're getting the whatever, the windfall tickets, everything. You know how much money you spend in these games is unbelievable. So the club response was, they said the prices are in line with last year, and they're the cheapest in the UK. Cost of living crisis, right? Doesn't really matter if they're in line with last year. Technically, that's true, but they're completely missing the point. People who are struggling to pay their bills, how are they meant to afford 45 quid? How are they meant to afford £45 for their kid? It's unbelievable. So fans said it's not about comparison, it's about the principle. Working class supporters shouldn't be the ones footing the bill for boardroom mistakes, which I absolutely agree with. And that line actually hit home because it shows how disconnected the board have become from the real people who fill Celtic Park every week. People who don't have lots of money, but they ply all the money they've got into to going to see and supporting their club. The board just don't get it. Another major topic but then was the Fairhurst report about that March policing incident, if we remember, the Green Brigade. Fans criticised the report for being too soft, saying it didn't reflect how serious things really were. The club said they'd share it with Police Scotland and requested a meeting, but supporters want to actually be in the room when these meetings happen. So I can't see that happening, but I get what they're saying. Nicholson said he'd request that, but it's unlimited. My brain is gone, but it's all on Police Scotland. Ultimately, Police Scotland will make that decision. It's late at night now, guys, and I should be in my bed, but I'm trying to get this video done for tomorrow, so my brain's a wee bit fried. The fans then argued the club should be stronger, not just politely asking, but standing up for supporters when these things happen, which they don't. They let Police Scotland run things, to be perfectly honest. That just sums up a lot of the meeting. Polite words, no real power behind any of them. Then there was the fan survey from last year. Still not released. The club said it was coming out this month, and that they've had issues formatting the data. Whatever. Fans basically said that that's not good enough, right? And that is the point. That isn't good enough. They've had trouble formatting the data. What a lot of malarkey. When you hold a fan survey, then setting the results for over a year, it actually takes away the trust because something is being hidden or changed or whatever. It's just not good. To be fair, one positive moment did come out of that when Kevin McQuillan he owned the mistake and said they'd learn from it. Well done, Kevin, son. Well done. But for the rest of the meeting, it didn't have the same levels of honesty, in my opinion. Towards the end, there was talk of creating a fan advisory board, which sounds like something that West Ham, I'm pretty sure West Ham and Manchester United have. The club said they were looking into it and seeing how other clubs do it, but again, no timeline or commitment. And that's how the meeting kind of ended. So the fan group said that the whole thing was unsatisfactory and no meaningful progress had been made. Nicholson said the club would keep talking and reviewing things, but for most fans reading those minutes, it just feels like the same old Celtic boardroom talk. Same old stuff, same old nonsense. And it just feels like they are trying to appease fans by having these meetings, but actually nothing comes of it. They're not giving us anything new, they're just giving us the same nonsense that they gave us in that silly letter that they sent out. So what do we take from this then? Celtic say they want to be world class in everything we do. But meetings like that show that we have got a lot of work to do, especially in terms of communication, transparency and ambition for me. So the supporters are clearly united. We can see that and we can feel it. The Celtic fans collective made that clear. So it's not going away, Mr. Nicholson. The fans want reform, and they're not accepting the same pitiful answers anymore. That's it. Okay, so I'm going to throw this over to you guys if you're still here, if you still watch this. Do you think the board are really listening to supporters? Have the club become too comfortable with what they have, like the fans, the waiting list, the money that comes in? And is it time we saw real fan representation inside Celtic Park? I think it is. I think we need to get something in there so that we are represented and we can get our voices heard. So let me know what you think in the comments. I am going to end this video now and get to my scratcher because I'm absolutely knackered. Please remember to click like and subscribe. Doesn't cost a penny, and it's pretty simple. You can get our videos through to watch them, and if you like them, superb. And if you don't, you do not need to watch them. Please remember, I'm ringing the bell here for do not buy any of the club's merchandise. So the slogan we're talking right now is noise in the stands and silence the tills. Let's keep the noise in the stands and let's silence the tills for Celtic. And if we can do that, then maybe the board will start to listen. What we want to do, what I want to happen is for Adidas to start looking at their numbers and then go knocking on Celtic's door. I would love for that to happen. Anyway, hope you guys have a lovely day. Hail, hail.